All right, welcome to the Equio demonstration. I'm going to walk through the Equio Dashboard. And this right here is the home page of the Equio Dashboard. We'll start at the top and just run down through all the various widgets. At the very top, you can see what looks like and what actually is a stock ticker. This is exactly what it looks like. You can click on any stock. It will pull up the history of just today, the last 5 days, the last 3 months, and the total history of the company. We'll get into some more detail on what you can do with some of the stocks down in this widget here. But we also have what we call the Equio notifications. And this is just basically anything that has changed within Equio since the last time you logged in. So if there's a new report like this one that we just published last week, it also has some tips. There's a survey here that we have. So that's just something that every time you log in, again, if there's something new, it will show up right there. Okay, moving down, we have the WeedX, which is basically a stock ticker for the whole market. These are all cannabis companies. And you can look at the market as a whole. Again, it's either today, 5 days, 3 months, or entire history. And this is the entire market. You can also look at it by sector. So there are various sectors. There's ancillary services, cultivation, agriculture, biotech, hemp, and Canada. So if you would like to just know about a specific area within the cannabis legal stock index, you can look at that. And again, you can choose a specific company. You can click on that company. It will pull up a full, not only the history of the stock and how it's performed, but also if there's any latest company news, it will pull in all that news about this particular company. And again, so this is the last 3 months. Here's the entire history. And it will show you whatever sector that they are in. So in this case, Heritage, they are in the biotech industry. So here's the entire sector. And again, it will pull in all the latest news. Going back to the dashboard, across from the WeedX, we have what we call the US Sales Index. This is the product sales index. And it is really, it pulls in by various areas of the cannabis industry. So we have flower, edibles, extracts, tinctures, topicals, pre-rolls, and vapes. And this gives you a index of what the percentage of sales are for those various areas of the cannabis industry. Now, this is for the US as a whole. You can also go down and look at individual states. So if you want to say, okay, what's happening in just California, it will pull in just California. And again, it will show you what the percentage of sales are within those various areas of the cannabis industry. Okay, moving down, we have the hemp highlights. Now, hemp is one of those areas that we get asked a lot about, and people really like hemp data. So we created its own little area. This is data that you can find other places within Equio, but it's just all centralized. So it's basically hemp highlights, some areas and some things that are happening within the hemp industry that we feel are important and that you should know about if you're interested in hemp. Moving over, we have the interactive data map. There is a lot within this map. There are a number of layers and there's a ton of data. The top layer is COVID-19 cannabis business breakdown. So this is really of all the states that have either legal or medical and what the status of those of that industry within that state. So is it considered essential, meaning that when there's a full lockdown, cannabis or dispensaries are still open? Like I'm currently in Colorado. For about 2 hours, it was considered not essential and it was going to be closed. There was such an uproar, the government quickly changed its mind and made sure that it was essential. And so now they're fully open. Then moving down, we have legalized states. This is really on what the history of each state is, what the adult sales market is, and what the medical market is. And you can go to any of the states and it will pull in the data that we have. So if you're curious on what the size of the market is in any given state. Qualifying conditions is exactly what it sounds like. This is medical only, obviously, but it's by state. What are the qualifying conditions that you need to have or that you can have in order to get a medical card? Cannibalization, this is for alcohol, tobacco, and pharma. And it's exactly what it sounds like. This is what the cannibalization of legalized cannabis has had on those other industries by state. Job opportunities, we actually show this in two places. One is within the map, and then also down in this widget right here. It's the same data, it's just displayed in different ways. You can choose by state. You can also choose by role. So any kind of role within the cannabis industry, from bud tenders to security guards to there's a director of finance, marketing, you know, anything and everything that you can imagine within the cannabis industry. If there's a job listing, you can find them here. And again, you can look by state. So if you only want to know what's going on in Colorado, it will pull in all the jobs that are open in the cannabis industry in Colorado. Moving on, we have tax rates. So tax rates are exactly what it sounds like. We don't have for the whole country yet, but for individualized states that we do have, it's the tax rates in that state by county, actually. So it's individual tax rates for every county within California. So it looks like we have California, Oregon, Washington, and Colorado right now. And again, it's all the tax rates, both at a state level and then also at a county level. And then last but not least, in the map, we have US investment opportunity rankings. This is something that New Frontier Data put together, and it's just where we feel there could be some opportunities for investment within the cannabis industry. Okay, moving down, we have the Cannabis Insight Daily. This is our daily newsletter that we send out Monday through Friday. These are the top 5 stories that we feel are relevant in the cannabis industry every day. So you can either subscribe to the newsletter and get it in your inbox, or if you have an Equio subscription, you can just look right here. Also, there's a full archives that goes back years since we started this newsletter, which I believe is 2016. So there's 4 years of every article, or the top 5 articles every day for 4 years. Tax notices. Now this is different than the tax rates we had above. This is tax notices. It's probably something you would want to filter by state. I mean, I guess you could be interested in the whole country, but most people are interested by state. But then it really shows you every single tax notification that's happening within the state of your interest. Not only what's happened, but what's coming up. So say if there's a vote in a city and you want to be aware of it, it will show up here. So in these cases, it looks like this is all passed, so August 5th, but that's very current, obviously. So the city council, they listen to some people, and you can click in and it will show you what happened or what they're thinking about doing and what the new tax notices are. Okay, down here we have market projections and patient saturation. This is really pretty much exactly what it sounds like. This is for projections. This is medical, recreational, legal, and illicit. And it has historical data as well. Than anything in the future, that's obviously projections. And those are New Frontier Data projections. And then patient saturation, that is obviously medical, but you can filter and add by state, and it shows you the saturation percentage of the state, and then it also projects out into the future. Okay, moving over. Along the left-hand side, there's a number of different tabs that you can see, and we're going to start with reports and charts. This is where all the New Frontier Data reports are located. And with your Equio subscription, you get access to all of these reports. Now, depending on your level of subscription, at a basic level, you can click on any report and read it within the reader. At the higher levels of subscription, you can actually download a PDF and have it on your computer. But even with the basic level, you still have access to all the various reports we have, and you can read them right within this viewer. You can put it whatever size you want. This report, for example, just came out last week. It is included. Pretty much every report that we put out now is available within Equio, and it's included within your subscription. If you do have any reports that you purchase, they would show up here. But like I said, we really don't have many reports these days that we charge for. I think the last one was over a year ago. You can also search by reports here. If there's a specific one that you're looking for, you can find them. As you can see, there's a lot of reports in here. You can also search by keyword right up here. Oh, by the way, at the top of Equio, there's also a search function that allows you to search for any keyword. If you search for, say, hemp, it will pull up every single instance that is hemp related, whether it's a chart, whether it's a report or a news article or a blog post, it's all in there. So moving on from my reports, we have what we call interactive reports. And these are basically a summary of the report. So it's usually key findings, a short video that describes the report, a report summary. So this is basically, if you aren't sure if you want to read a big, say, 50-page report, you can go here, you can look and say, oh, okay, these key findings are pretty interesting. And if it is something you want to know more about, then you just go to the actual report and you can look at the whole thing. There's also charts for any given report. You can find the charts here. And actually, why don't we go over to the charts library, since basically it's the same thing, but this is for all the reports. So this is every single chart that's been in any New Frontier Data report. So as you can imagine, there are hundreds, actually thousands of charts available here. So if you're somebody who is putting together a deck and you need, you need data to support your business plan, this is a fantastic place to come find the report you're looking for. At the basic level, you just have access to view them. At the higher levels of subscription, you also have the ability to download and use them however and wherever you would like. Again, you can search by a specific report. So if you know you just want the charts from the Canada Cannabis report, you could just click there and it will pull up all the charts from that report. Or again, you can search by keyword. Okay, moving down, we have what's called the, looks like it's pulling up there we go. We have what's called the data marketplace. And the data marketplace is literally all of the data that is behind our reports. So for example, the global state of hemp, as you can imagine, there was a lot of data in that report. And so if you're interested in what is in here, you can literally find all of the data. You can download it as a Excel file or an XML file, and it comes with all the charts, comes with all the data. So these things obviously aren't for everyone, but if you're someone who is very interested in data, you're doing research of some type, this is the perfect place. This data is very hard to find, and we've centralized it for you. You could buy them individually. As you can tell, they're fairly expensive. They are included in an Equio Pro subscription. So if you're somebody who is interested in data and doing a lot of research, the Equio Pro subscription is what I would recommend. Compared to these prices, it's very worth what you pay for it, which is $99 a month, by the way, and you have access to all of this for free. You can also filter by location, by market segment, adult use, medical use, or hemp, time period, if there's a specific year you're looking for, or again, a specific report that you want the data from. That's where it all is. Okay, moving down, we have 3 different tabs: investing, researching, and operating. And these are just basically a lot of the widgets that we saw on the homepage, just organized a little different way for things that we feel that, like in this case, investors would be interested in. Or if you're a researcher, you can click on that one, or same with operator. There are a few different things that you can find in this area that you can't see on the homepage. We also pull in any reports that we feel that an investor might be interested in. In this case, it looks like actually they're all the same. I believe it's either in researching or operating with it. It's slightly different, and there are a couple different things. Yeah, so here's Canna Clips. So these are the short 1-minute videos on every report that we do. You can find them all in one place right here. The Canna Bit, that is our weekly newsletter that goes out that has a bit of cannabis information, hence Canna Bit. That comes out every Monday, but you can find them all right here, as well as all of our presentations and webinars. These are very popular. We do a lot of presentations, well, not in the COVID, but in past, we used to do a lot of presentations. Now we do a lot of webinars. So you can find them both right here and have access to any and all of them, from keynotes to small webinars that we do that we're a guest in. They're all available right here. All the presentations are available for download. All the webinars are available to view. Again, operating, it's the same thing. It's just organized a little bit differently. And then the Canna Byte. So the Canna Byte is a product that is available on our corporate website, but with an Equio subscription, you also have access to everything within the Canna Byte. Think of it very much as like New York Times archives. It's just access to all of our presentations, all of our webinars, all of our articles, all of our blog posts, and you have full access to it with any Equio subscription. You can also just buy it separately on the corporate website for $9 a month and have access to it. But then you obviously don't get everything that you get with an Equio subscription. So that was very abbreviated run through of Equio. We hope you liked it. If you would like to know more, or if you would like to have a personalized demonstration, please feel free to reach out to us at sales@newfrontierdata.com, and we will answer any questions you have or give you a personalized demonstration where we can go at a much slower pace and you can ask anything that you would like. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed.